the number 4 Cowboy of all time, Mr. Cowboy, Bob Lilly.
Bob Lilly was the guy.
He's one of the guys that's on a pedestal for Dallas Cowboy fans.
I put Bob Lilly number 1 on my list. I think he's the greatest Cowboy of all time.
Do you put Bob Lilly ahead of Tony Dorsett? Do you put him ahead of Emmitt Smith? I don't know, but he needs to be in the top 5. He is Mr. Cowboy.
He was the team's first ever draft choice, the first All-Pro selection, the first Pro Bowl player, and is a charter member of our club's coveted Ring of Honor in Texas Stadium.
He was the Dallas Cowboys. He helped this franchise go from nothing, no wins in that first year, to being Super Bowl champions.
It's the greatest thing that's ever happened to me. I can't express my feeling right now. It's fantastic.
He was the first guy that Cowboy fans really embraced and could really relate to, and he just seemed like the perfect first face of the franchise.
Born and raised in Texas, Bob Lilly is the prototypical cowboy and a Dallas legend.
They were right to call him Mr. Cowboy. It's a fitting nickname, Mr. Cowboy.
He had the country accent. He had that down-home, humble aura about him.
He looks like Texas.
Oh, by the way, I'm a defensive tackle.
Just had no suntan. He was just white all over, no muscle definition. But when he put those pads on, number 74 was an unbelievable football player.
What a save by Bob Lilly.
The first great player in Cowboy history. The first great player.
Our number 4 Cowboy played in 11 Pro Bowls in 14 seasons and never missed a regular season game.
Bob Lilly was a majestic defensive player. He was magnificent.
Lilly hits him at the 25.
Bob Lilly dominated games. He changed games. He was unblockable.
He would knife through offensive linemen instead of riding them out.
He required 2 blockers every play.
He takes a hand off, and he's stopped by Lilly again.
They triple-teamed Bob Lilly and still couldn't block him.
I thought Bob Lilly was the greatest defensive lineman I ever saw.
He never gave up on a play, and that's what separates the guys that live in Canton and the guys that play this game.
If they scored, they were going to have to crawl over dead bodies. That's how we felt.
If you looked at Lilly work, if you looked at how hard he played, I think a lot of his teammates felt badly if they didn't give the same kind of effort, because they realized the kind of effort Lilly gave play after play.
Here's one of the great original Cowboys.
He was just a phenomenal football player that really didn't have a mean streak in his body. If he had been a guy, was really mean, they would have to outlaw him.
The anchor of the Doomsday defense was mean enough to make our list and talented enough to make everyone else's.
Sporting News did their list of the 100 greatest players in NFL history. Lilly was 10th, and that was the highest-ranking Cowboy.
One of the greatest sayings I've ever heard was by Jim Brown. This is a great football player can transcend eras. I think Bob Lilly is one of those guys. I think Bob Lilly could transcend eras.
He deserves to be very high on the list. Some would say number 1 because he is Mr. Cowboy.